wherever you are going to present, whether it's the next meeting room down the hall or whether it's a grand hotel in a foreign country, it makes good sense to check off all the things you need to take to make sure you don't miss anything, and also all the things you need to do when you arrive in preparation for your presentation. Here are 2 useful checklists that have served me well. My first checklist is what to pack. Start with your travel documents, your tickets, your reservations, your personal ID, and of course, any maps that you need. Next, any equipment that you're going to take. Your laptop or your tablet device, your projector, your connectors, your power pack, possibly something to play music and the music that you'll need, and of course, backups of the documents that you're going to present from. And there are plenty of accessories to put on your checklist. Pointers, adapters, power leads, power adapters, remote controls, extension leads, all sorts of connection cables to make sure that you can connect any one piece of your equipment to any other piece of equipment that they might expect you to connect to. And don't forget simple items of stationery that will be useful to you. Pencils, pens, markers, notebooks, sticky notes. Have a list of the stationery that is useful when you travel to presentations. Next is your personal items, your phone and your phone charger or a battery backup, business cards, keys, your wallet or purse, an umbrella maybe. Linked to this are vanity items, makeup, combs and brushes, tissues, small medical items, and even breath mints. Next are the materials you're going to present. Your notes, your printed materials, handouts, reference documents, and props. And of course you'll want a backup. SD cards, USB sticks, hard drives, and of course the all-important login details so that you can access cloud-based backups. And finally, have a small list of items to take with you that can fix many situations when there's a small emergency. The things on my list include masking tape, maybe even gaffer tape, a penknife, or a multi-tool, although be very careful if you're travelling by plane to make sure they aren't in your hand luggage, otherwise they're not going to get to your destination. Plain paper, sticky notes, sticky tack that can stick paper to walls, scissors, cough sweets, paracetamol or ibuprofen, and maybe even some indigestion sweets. This is just the generic things on my own personal packing list. What I recommend you do if you are going to be travelling to present is create your own personal packing list, and when you prepare to travel, check off each item on that list before you leave the house. The other valuable checklist is a list of the checks you need to make on arrival before you are ready to present. Let's start with technology, although that never goes wrong, so you hardly need to worry about it. But seriously, you've got visual technology and audio technology, sometimes wrapped in together, sometimes as 2 separate systems. In a big conference, of course, that will be taken care of by technical experts and a whole crew. But if you're just presenting in front of an organisation in their meeting room, then you need to be responsible for making sure that this stuff will work for you. Run through everything. Are your devices running on power or battery? Because if they're running on battery, do they have enough battery life for the whole session? If not, connect them to the power. And what about screensavers or alerts? Make sure that those are all disabled so that nothing can break into your important presentation. If you're using audio technology, test the microphones. Also, critically, make sure you know how to switch them off in case there is a break in your presentation and you need to pop to the cloakroom. And of course, make sure that you have spare batteries for any devices like microphones which may need them. Ideally, put a new battery into a microphone before the start of every presentation. Next, think about sightlines. Where are the chairs? Where are the tables? Will your audience be able to see you, and will they be able to see your visual aids? Where are you going to stand so that they can see you clearly and also your visual aids, so that you don't obscure their view of anything important? Secondary, what about the sightlines from you to them? Can you see your audience? Can you look them in the eye? The next thing to think about is your supporting materials. Do your audience have the materials they need, or are the materials ready to either hand out to your audience, or are they on the tables or on their chairs ready for them when they arrive? Has this been done correctly? Also, take a look at the printed materials one last time to make sure they're correct. There may not be time to correct a mistake in your printed materials, but at least you can acknowledge it during your presentation so that you look like you're in control and can give them whatever reassurances you consider are appropriate. Next, gather together your small equipment and make sure it is accessible to you should you need it. Things like pens, a notebook, markers, and make sure, of course, that you've got the right markers for the media that you're going to use. If you're going to use flip charts, have you got markers that work well on flip charts? And if you're going to use whiteboards, have you got markers that work well and can be rubbed off properly? What about timing? Do you have a timer or a watch that is in your eye line or easy to refer to should you need it? Next, think about comfort items. And the two most important comfort items are tissues should you need them and water. And you will need water. And as a top tip, when you're speaking, do not use ice water because that will contract your throat and make it harder for you to speak clearly. And don't use fizzy water because that can make you gassy. My preference is for still, warm water. It doesn't taste great, but it is good for your throat. Next, think about emergencies. Do you know the procedures for emergencies in the venue? Do you know where the emergency exits are so that you can point people at them from the platform, because you are the one person everyone will be able to see should the alarms go off? And finally, think about distractions. Empty your pockets of anything that can jangle. Remove jewellery or bangles or anything that you might find yourself fiddling with. Put away potential distractions, put them somewhere safe. Your ideal is to have a presenting space that is clear of anything unnecessary, but has everything you might need ready to hand. Please do give this video a great big thumbs up if you've enjoyed it or if you've learned from it. I'll be creating loads more great management courses content for you, so please do subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of that content. I'll look forward to seeing you in the next one, and in the meantime, keep learning.